Welcome, graduates, family, and friends, to UW-Milwaukee's 122nd commencement ceremony. Thank you for joining us. Believe me when I say that this ceremony is unlike any other we have held. Even just a couple of months ago, we had hoped to be together in a packed UWM Panther arena. While this ceremony is very different from what we had planned, it remains a celebration of your accomplishments. And they are indeed momentous. You completed your degree in the throes of a sudden and frightening global pandemic, one that disrupted everything in our daily lives. There has not been a graduating class in our history that needed to endure such drastic, unforeseen challenges that accompanied the COVID-19 pandemic. It's true, none of you expected to be back at your parents' or other relatives' homes, or isolated in your own apartments and homes while finishing your final projects and exams. At the same time, many of you have dealt with the loss of loved ones, lost jobs, and juggling self-care with making sure those close to you were also safe. None of this was easy. Absolutely none of it. Yet, you rose up to the challenge with great strength, grit, determination, and adaptability. You're Panthers, after all, and Panthers are fighters and entrepreneurs and engaged citizens. You are the very people this state and country need right now to solve societal ills, create medical solutions, make metamorphic discoveries, and improve the quality of life for thousands. This diversity of your backgrounds, thinking, and life experiences bring out ideas that change people's lives. Your time and efforts at UWM matter a great deal. At last count, 3,444 people were eligible to graduate this May, and each person has a remarkable story. We'll hear from 3 of your classmates, but first, I want to spotlight a number of our graduates. There are those who have completed degrees through the Honors College, and I hope all 78 are wearing your pewter stoles right now. 800 of our students were awarded gold honors cords from our 10 undergraduate schools and colleges. Students who earned gold cords maintain a GPA of 3.5 or more throughout their academic career. 19 of them maintained a perfect 4.0 grade point average throughout their entire career at UWM. Congratulations on your superb academic achievements. There's another group among our graduates that I would also like to recognize, our military veterans. UWM has 1,300 students enrolled under the federal and Wisconsin GI Bills, which make UWM the leading educator of veterans in the state. Veteran graduates, I hope you are wearing your red, white, and blue braided cords with pride today. Thank you for your service. Another outstanding group among our graduates are UWM's McNair Scholars, our future leaders who are the first in their family to attend college and come from diverse backgrounds. These students have completed a selective and rigorous research program that prepares them to enter graduate school. McNair Scholars, you have earned the black and gold stole that I hope you are wearing right now as a symbol of your accomplishments. I'll make one more shout out before I turn things over to our student speakers. To those of you who will join the front lines to fight COVID, we thank you most sincerely. The graduates of our College of Nursing are already on the front line, taking care of patients. We know you will continue to put your personal health on the line to save others. Our healthcare informatics, public health, biological, and data scientists will be needed more than ever to predict what the virus will do next through the development of forecasting models. There will be those who suffer trauma, and our social workers and psychologists will be there to help. And our engineering and PECK School of the Arts graduates will use their skills to design the next generation of personal protective equipment. Thank you all. I'll now introduce our 3 student speakers who collaborated to share words of wisdom. Each student will share their perspective from 3 phases. First, before college, then during their time here, and the next chapters after college will be concluded. First, we'll hear from Amaya Varela, who's receiving her Bachelor of Science in Social Welfare. She's a student from the Roberto Hernandez Center who has an outstanding history of advocating for communities of color and other marginalized identities, and she's a former member of our student association. Next, we will hear from Tamia Williams. She's receiving her Bachelor of Science in Microbiology. She is one of the co-founders of UWM's Minority American Pre-Medical Students Student Organization. And then we will hear from Brendan Blood, who is receiving his Bachelor of Business Administration in Finance. He has served 2 terms as an RA in Sandburg and has a history of academic excellence.
I am humbled to share in this moment of celebration with my fellow graduating class of Spring 2020. Earning a degree is no small achievement, and it compels me to reflect upon my journey which began during those final years of high school, when I decided to apply to UW-Milwaukee and subsequently experienced the unforgettable 4 years that followed. In preparing and applying for college, what will always stick with me is the people that supported my dream of attending university as a first-generation Indigenous woman. Since then, and throughout my time in undergrad, I am blessed with family, friends, and a community that believed in this vision. Higher education is a system fraught with barriers to success that make it difficult for students like me to find their path. As a result, my support systems pushed me to become involved in extracurriculars that I was passionate about. I would go on to lead in student organizations such as the American Indian Student Association and the Maternal and Child Health Program, which connected me with students and faculty who were driven to make positive change across campus and within communities. Most importantly, they never let me forget how much I was capable of as an Indigenous scholar. Many of us arrived at UWM in the midst of a turbulent presidential election that brought upon significant change for our country. In turn, we completed our degrees during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, while also witnessing the largest international civil rights movement in history for Black lives. These unprecedented changes we have experienced during our time at UWM have fostered resilient individuals set on forging innovative paths of what it means to them to be successful. My unique story is one of many within our graduating class that touches upon our exceptional strengths, the challenges we face in our day-to-day lives, and the people that encourage us to keep going despite it all. As we move on to our next chapter, I implore all graduates to take time to bask in their achievements thus far. Our collective story reminds us that there is nothing we cannot do. We just have to decide to do it. Thank you.
The way that most of the class of 2020 entered and the way that all of us have exited shows one exemplary trait that we all have in common, and that's perseverance. I commend everyone for overcoming every blip that came up during their education to make it here today. But it is my hope that this was not something that any of us had to do alone. UWM has provided us with offices for LGBT+, African American, Latinx, Asian Pacific Islander, Native, and veteran needs, and even more than that. These offices are manned by people that are given resources and trained to support our unique backgrounds. These staff want nothing more than to see us make it to where we are today and view what great feats we will continue to prevail over. I hope that we're all able to take advantage of the many opportunities that have been offered to us. More than that, though, I hope that we have taken the time to connect with one another, and that doesn't have to stop at our 2020 graduation ceremony. My greatest hope for our class, who I would like to say is the most strong-willed class in an extremely long time, is that we never stop learning from these challenges. I know that we will use everything that we have learned to empower not only ourselves, but everyone around us. Congratulations, class of 2020. This is a milestone of completion that you should always remember when you feel like you are unable to overcome something. You have persevered, you can persevere, and you will persevere.
Congratulations to the class of 2020 and all that you've achieved. Our journey without a proper ending is disheartening and frustrating. Your accomplishments, academic and personal, are still sensational and groundbreaking, even in these challenging times where everyone deserves some pomp and circumstance. But history does not remember those who stood by and let circumstances define them. Rather, history remembers those who acted and defined themselves within those circumstances. We, the class in 2020, were placed in a position that nobody could have predicted. But we overcame it, just like we did with everything else we faced before and during college. We overcame the challenging reality that rapidly unfolded in front of us in our last semester at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. As we move on to our next chapter in life, whether that's a job, education, or inspiring others, we must remember the numerous lessons that the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee provided with us. We must lead with integrity, passion, and kindness. We, the class of 2020, have only began to make our mark on this world. Believe it or not, the last 4 years of your life was just the preamble to your story. We, the class of 2020, will inspire change and promote equality for all. We will face many obstacles when striving to accomplish these goals. When we face these obstacles that stand in our way, we should not be afraid. Instead, we should relish the challenge because leaders, which make up the class of 2020, define the future by taking on the impossible odds. I want to leave you with this one last message. That is, wherever you come from, whatever your background is, be proud of who you are and what you've become. Because when we approach our next chapter in life, if we stay true to ourselves and as Panthers, there's no challenge that we won't overcome, even if we face impossible odds again. Thank you, and stay healthy.
Today, we will be treated to dual commencement speakers, both of whom are graduates of UWM. I'm pleased to first introduce Dr. Eve Hall. Dr. Hall is president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League, and she is a UW System Regent. She previously served as the president and CEO of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Milwaukee. She has demonstrated her commitment to education as well as neighborhood and economic development. Dr. Hall served as Chief Innovation Officer for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, where she spent 10 years in leadership roles impacting student retention, scholarships, and university school district partnerships. Her other past leadership roles include Vice President of Public Affairs for Family Service of Milwaukee, and as the School to Work Administrator for Milwaukee Public Schools. And I'll tell you, she is an immensely positive force in our region and well beyond. Known as a leader who builds and connects, Dr. Hall was recently named one of Milwaukee's power brokers by the Milwaukee Business Journal. She received the Leading Lights Community Service Award by St. Francis Children's Center. She earned a BS degree in educational psychology from Florida A&M University, a MS in administrative leadership from UWM, and a doctorate in educational leadership from Cardinal Stritch University. I am grateful to Dr. Hall for all that she has done to advance partnerships that deeply impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of students in the region. Next, I am honored to introduce Hector Colon. Mr. Colon is the president and CEO of Lutheran Social Services of Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. He was recently appointed to the UW System Board of Regents. Regent Colon was named the Nonprofit Executive of the Year by Biz Times Media and the Hispanic Man of the Year by UMOS. Many of you will remember Regent Colon's role as Executive Director of the Milwaukee County Department of Health and Human Services, where he led efforts to reform the juvenile justice system, end chronic homelessness, transform mental health care, and end a 30-year wait list for disability services. What you might not know about Regent Colon is that he was a member and champion of the U.S. national boxing team, winning 7 national titles and competing in the 1992 Olympic trials. And he just released his first book, From Boxing Ring to Boardroom. He's a double Panther, earning 2 degrees from UWM, including a Bachelor of Science cum laude in occupational therapy and a Master's of Science in occupational therapy. I'm grateful to Regent Colon for the many ways he has given back to UWM, including as a member of our Hispanic Serving Institution Advisory Council.
Thank you, Chancellor Mone, faculty, and staff, for inviting me to join you today and for your outstanding leadership during these unprecedented times. I am honored and proud to be able to join UW-Milwaukee and our class of 2020. UW-Milwaukee is where I received my master's degree in administrative leadership and supervision and education in 1992. Yes, I am a Panther, and a proud one at that. My message over the next several minutes is to remind you today that you have what it takes to make it. So Panthers 2020, today marks your formal day of crossing over. You successfully demonstrated perseverance, tenacity, commitment, and a downright determination and passion to finish what you started. Today, you are making history because you are part of the first generation of university graduates in this century due to COVID-19 pandemic who could not have a traditional in-person, shoulder-to-shoulder celebratory event. I know this has been hard. I know it's been disappointing, but it takes strong graduates like you, Panthers 2020, to survive the anxieties and uncertainties of today and have faith in the eventual and successful recovery of this nation's physical and mental health. COVID-19 has changed the way we live and is having a disastrous effect on our economy and way of life as we have always known it. Your world as students was turned upside down, leaving you to wonder if this day would even come, but it's here, and so are you. And someone in this class may help to have the answer for the vaccine or medicines needed to stop this global pandemic. In times of this kind of economic upheaval, your creativity, your ability to reinvent yourself, and your willingness to explore temporary avenues you had not necessarily planned on pursuing, and an intensity to maximize the networks you have will be most critical to weathering this temporary storm. And those of us already in this world of work and leading organizations like your own Chancellor Mone, like Regent Cologne, and like me, we are having to adjust each day to this new normal. We truly are all in this together in many different ways. But you will be okay, and we will be okay. You have made it this far, and with technology at the center of all that we do, and the fact that technology has been your world from the day most of you graduates were born, your creative minds will figure it out. And in terms of social change, it takes graduates like you, Panthers 2020, to help create a nation of new compassion and genuine respect for each other, regardless of color, gender, religion, or sexual preferences, and one that practices justice, equality, and equity. It has always been young people like yourselves throughout this history who together led and sacrificed for social change. When we observe and participate in today's marches, while demonstrations are multi-generational and multiracial, there are thousands of young people at the core and at the helm. In fact, it was the bravery and resilience of a 17-year-old teenager that made it possible for us to witness, unfortunately, the slow and painful death of a human being in Minneapolis, played over and over again in the media, that prompted gut-wrenching and emotional reactions from a nation shocked and thus moved to demonstrations for justice and equality. A movement involving people of all races, ages, and religions, bound together, thrusting this nation and world into a new consciousness and awakening of what Dr. Martin Luther King described in his 1963 letter from a Birmingham, Alabama jail, where he was arrested for participating in civil rights demonstrations in that city. But he wrote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny." In other words, Dr. King was saying there's no place to hide from each other. We are all tied into what happens in this society and each other directly or indirectly. Just ask COVID-19. There is no mistake that you are here, graduates, at this time and in this space. I believe we all know our country and our world can be better. I promote we change and better the world through our work and our spheres of influence. And I promote we change ourselves by committing to lifelong learning, being open to learning about others different than ourselves, being open to understanding the history of this country that led us to today in terms of social challenges and issues and what can lead us to a better tomorrow. I salute you, Panther class of 2020, on this great day of completion as you enter your next chapter of life. Congratulations in English, Pongezi in Swahili, Felicidades in Spanish, Shuangxia in Hmong, Mubarak in Arabic, Mazel Tov in Hebrew. And the list goes on of who is represented in this great country of ours. Remember, individually and collectively, we can make a positive difference. And graduates, you will make it.
Thank you, Chancellor Mone, faculty and staff, and thank you to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee for the opportunity to be your commencement speaker, along with Regent Hall, who is doing great work in our community. UWM is my alma mater, so as a former double Panther, this is truly an honor. The work you are doing here to recruit, develop, and educate students is to be commended. Your commitment to these students is a commitment to a brighter future, stronger future, not just for them, but for the businesses they will soon work for and the communities they will serve. Each of us has a story of how we got here. We have had to endure challenges to get here today. The story I will share with you started on one summer day. I went outside to play baseball with some neighborhood kids. One kid, his name was Adam, called me a spick, an N-word, and told me to get out of his neighborhood. I was bullied. My mother and father got a divorce when I was 12 years old. And for years, my father didn't call or send money. I grew up seeing my sister addicted to drugs, in and out of jail, suicide attempts, fights between my mother and her. Drugs and gangs permeated my surroundings. Two of my best friends died due to drug overdose. My cousin died due to gang violence. My mother was working 2 and sometimes 3 jobs to support the family. I remember at times being home alone, trying to figure it out. These factors led to an ACE score of 6. ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Trauma Effects. According to research, this score indicates that I would have 200% likelihood of having depression, or a 200% likelihood of committing suicide. But thanks to that bully that did not want me in his neighborhood, this led me to the boxing ring, where I learned the 5 virtues of magnanimity, humility, courage, perseverance, and temperance. These virtues led me to become a champion, boxer, and CEO, from the boxing ring to the boardroom. Oh, and I did beat Adam up a couple times. You thought I let him get away with it? But the best part of this story is that we did become friends. Today, I look to inspire you with the virtues laid out in my newly released book, My Journey from Boxing Ring to Boardroom, 5 Virtues for Life and Leadership. First, magnanimity. St. Thomas Aquinas refers to this virtue as the stretching forth to greatness. I want to encourage you to go out in this world and pursue greatness, not mediocrity or achieve something that is good, but rather go out there and change the world. You can achieve greatness through dedication, determination, and discipline. Despite what anyone has told you or will tell you in the future, you have it in you. Humility. Go out there and serve others. The more you serve others, the more you will get in return. It is a great feeling when you know you are making a difference in the lives of others. I encourage you to be a humble servant, committed to the growth of others. Courage. Face your fears and do the right thing, even when it's hard. I guarantee you there will be lots of opportunities for this. Go with courage and be not afraid to attack the complex issues we face in our society. There are many. Can we count on you? Perseverance. Go out there and fail. Yes, if you're not failing, you are playing it too safe. Go out and stretch yourself and learn from your failures. The failures you go through will be valuable life lessons. They will take you to places you never thought were possible. Temperance. Learn to control your impulses, understand your temperament, exhibit self-control at all times. You do not want to make a mistake that could jeopardize your life and your career. I'm here to tell you, you need to fight and put on those boxing gloves and get ready to fight right now for your place in this world. Fight to improve yourself each and every day. Fight for others that may be marginalized or left behind. And fight for the betterment of the world that surrounds you. The world needs you now more than ever. And now you are ready. In closing, I declare you champions today. You are champions because you finally graduated. You are champions because you're going to pay your parents back that money that you owe them. And you are champions because you're going to use the 5 virtues laid out in my book to change the world for a better place to live, work, and play. Congratulations.
I call upon all the deans of our 13 schools and colleges that together offer 199 programs to our students. They will present candidates for all doctoral, master's, education specialist, bachelor's, and associate degrees. Our doctoral degree scholars have devoted years of intensive work to graduate studies and research. And in addition, they have defended dissertations and clinical projects, and which have been accepted by faculty members as sustainable and substantial contributions to knowledge in their respective fields. Our master's degree and education specialist degree candidates have fulfilled the degree requirements for a second, third, or terminal degree in their respective fields. Upon recommendation of the Graduate Faculty Committee and by vote of the Regents, they are eligible for admission to their appropriate degree. Our bachelor's degree and associate degree candidates have fulfilled the various degree requirements within their respective schools and colleges. Many of these students are the first in their families to earn a university degree, and many others earn their degrees while working full or part-time, raising children, caring for other family members, and overcoming many hurdles. We salute you all. Congratulations.
It is my honor as Associate Dean of the Graduate School to voice support for all those receiving doctoral, master's, and education specialist graduate degrees. These scholars have devoted years of intensive work to graduate study. In addition, the doctoral students have defended dissertations and clinical projects that have made substantial contributions to knowledge in their fields. These graduate degrees will be conferred along with the other degrees from each of our schools and colleges. Thank you, and congratulations.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Architecture, Master of Urban Planning, and Bachelor of Science in Architectural Studies. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Architecture and Urban Planning, I present these candidates for their degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Master of Fine Arts, Master of Music, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Fine Arts. These talented artists, scholars, and educators have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Milton and Lillian Peck School of the Arts, I present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Business Administration, Master of IT Management, Master of Science in Management, Bachelor of Business Administration, and Bachelor of Arts in Global Studies. These future business leaders are ready to seize opportunities and meet the challenges of the 21st century economy. They have demonstrated academic success by completing the requirements of their respective course of study. With the recommendation of the faculty of the Sheldon B. Lubar School of Business, I am proud to present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Education Specialist, Master of Science, and Bachelor of Science. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Education, I present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Science, Bachelor of Science in Engineering, and Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. These talented individuals are poised to use their analytical training and innovative spirit to go forth and change the world. Whereas they have completed their rigorous course requirements and been recommended by our outstanding college faculty, I am therefore proud to present these candidates for their appropriate degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees the Doctor of Philosophy and Master of Freshwater Sciences. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Freshwater Sciences, I present these candidates for their degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Healthcare Administration, and Bachelor of Science. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon recommendation of the faculty of the College of Health Sciences, I present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Library and Information Science, and Bachelor of Science and Master of Science in Information Science and Technology. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Information Studies. I present these candidates for their degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it's my distinct honor to present these outstanding candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Master of Human Resources and Labor Relations, Master of Liberal Studies, Master of Public Administration, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science. These scholars have persevered and completed all of the rigorous requirements of their degree programs. I present them to you for their degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Master of Nursing, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing. All of these individuals are poised to impact the health of individuals and systems as either nurse scientists, advanced practice nurses, clinical nurse leaders, or registered nurses. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Nursing, I present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Public Health, and Master of Science. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Joseph J. ZILBER School of Public Health, I present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Social Work, and Bachelor of Science. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Helen Bader School of Social Welfare, I present these candidates for degrees.
Chancellor Mone, it is my distinct honor to present the candidates for the degrees Associate of Arts and Sciences. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of their respective course of study upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of General Studies. I present these candidates for degrees.
Thank you to Provost Britz and all of our deans for presenting their candidates for degrees. To all of our graduates, under extraordinary circumstances, you have completed requirements for your doctorates, master's, specialist, bachelor's, and associate degrees. For those receiving graduate degrees, on the recommendations of the Graduate Faculty Committee and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I admit you to the appropriate doctor's degree, master's degree, and specialist degree. For those receiving bachelor's and associate's degrees, upon recommendation of the various faculties and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I admit you to the bachelor's degree and associate's degree appropriate to the courses you have completed. UW-Milwaukee Class of 2020, you have arrived at that moment of reaching one of life's most important milestones. Tradition has it that until a degree is conferred, the tassel must fall to the right of the cap. Now that you are graduates, that has changed. This is the time for all graduates, as a symbolic gesture, to move their tassels. This brings a close to the May 2020 University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Commencement Program. Congratulations to all of our graduates, and thank you to all whose support and encouragement made this proud day possible for our newest Panther alumni. Go Panthers!